This is Charlie from Fightfast. We got self-defense moves. Let's get right into it.
Before I show to you the last two low kicking techniques that I'm going to do this afternoon, I'm going to describe to you one of the misconceptions and explain to you what the problems are with kicking in general for combat use. I've spent many years just perfecting some high kicking techniques. That was by my choice, not because I chose to use these techniques because I was going to spend whatever time required so I could use them in combat. I used them as more of an art form and exercise, but some of these techniques can take you 3 or 4 months of practicing 200 or 300 times a day each kick just to learn the technique good enough so you might be able to use it in combat. And then you go find out that the practical nature of these kicks is so seldom presents itself in a close quarters hand-to-hand combat in real life that the amount of time you have invested in learning these techniques is nowhere near represents the value that you would want them to represent from the time you have invested if your intention is to survive a violent street confrontation or to make efficient use of your time to learn some techniques to protect yourself. I'll just demonstrate a couple of techniques. Everything we're showing you in the kicking department is all low kicks, requires no flexibility, doesn't require a lot of balance, speed, or anything. And they can be learned in 1 or 2 days. It's not a problem. These kinds of kicks with multiple kicks and kicks like this and over and side kicks, everything high and to the face, and spin kicks like this is actually useless because these kind of things, especially this spin kick, a person may have to practice 10, 12, 14 months straight, at least 5 or 6 days a week. Let's say, be realistic, 10 or 15,000 repetitions before you get good enough to use these things in a combat sequence. So that's why we're not going to show you any of these other than to demonstrate it's possible. You can get real good at them. You have to have flexibility, you have to have extensive time invested in training, and their practical value to you in a street survival situation is not even close to the amount of time you have to invest.
Hey guys, I'm jumping in here real fast. I want to give you some free videos. Go check out the description. We got a link to our free Fight Enders video. It's totally free. In that video, you'll get trained by martial artists, Green Berets, Black Ops, a whole bunch of specialists in the military and martial artists. The video is totally free. The link's in the description. Go check it out. Back to the video.
Okay, the next technique I'm going to show you is based on a little anatomical, if you can stick your leg out a little bit, yeah, and put the weight on it. Okay, this kick is going to attack this shin bone that runs on the leg, ankle to the knee here. This shin bone, you view it in this manner. It's 2 inches wide and 1 inch thick. 2 inches wide this way and 1 inch deep. When you have the weight of the person, let's say 60–70% of the body weight of the person placed upon this leg, if you assault this bone from this bone is like this, 2 inches wide and 1 inch deep here. So this part coming against here is only 1 inch deep, and with the weight placed on it, it takes 4 to 6 pounds of pressure to snap that bone. Okay, so I'm going to show you if you're having when the range of a confrontation approaches the grappling stage where you're this close. This is very easy. If they're leaning on you, or let's say your balance position is equal and they want to come forward, if you lean more weight onto their leg and just kick like that with the bottom of your shoe, you have a very good chance of breaking that shin bone because they are helping you by putting the weight on this thin piece of bone there. If you strike it from this way, they have 2 inches. It's a 2x1 in effect from this way, and you're not going to get any results. It's partially covered by a muscle, and you're attacking its strong point. Kicking this way attacks the weak point, makes a break easily possible. Okay, the third technique is you just want to stand, just stand, hang your hands down like that, just like that. On every human being, this is always the same. Wherever a person's thumb crosses their thigh here on either side, this is irrelevant to the size of the person, the weight of the person, the age, the race, anything. It's irrelevant. All people where the thumb ends at the thigh have a nerve point on either side. Okay? Pick them up like this. This is using the shin again as the kicking device, and you can judge it from a person. That's where the thumb stops. You attack this nerve point with the shin in an angle like this, so you don't have to raise it up very much. You're not kicking accurately with the toes. You're using the front of the shin, and you kick like that, compress the joint, the muscle over that nerve point. You don't need much pressure. The strike, because your weapon is so large, you don't need to be that accurate with the point. And when you strike that point, the instant reaction is it sends a numbing shock to this side of the body, and even on a very hard strike, when it's very effective, instantly the person drops because they've lost the use of this side of the body. But even a close shot takes away their ability to function and flex very fast, all the way from the shoulder down to the ankle. And it's usually a very debilitating injury with a black and blue spreading all from each direction of the point, because that's a very vital nerve point.
Thanks for watching our video lessons here at TRS Direct. Hit the like button down below and consider subscribing to our channel here on YouTube. Hit the bell icon and we'll send you a notification when there's a new lesson available. Thanks again for watching.